So, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the next part of our summit, we have an amazing expert session by one of the greatest industry leaders. And for that, may I call upon Mr. Sukesh Nayak, Chief Creative Officer for Ogilvy, to deliver the session on the topic AI at work, work that has won hearts. I'm sure everyone is waiting with bated breath for this session. Over to you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me here. And I was just heard some interesting. I managed to catch some interesting tidbits before. So yeah, so they asked me to just to showcase, and everyone is talking about artificial intelligence, and I thought that the best way to say is something that we've done over the last couple of years, and we've been at Ogilvy working with some of pretty big brands and finding solutions that have put this whole, this unknown territory to a lot of good, if I could say. And as a creator, I genuinely believe that what any format or any new thing that comes in our hands, if we can really do wonders with it, it can create a lot of magic. So I remember when we started talking about 3-4 years back, and everyone was like, what are you going to do with it? Is it going to be like self-programmed and things like that? And when we found the right opportunity and we had the partnership with some of the bravest people that we work with, I think, again, it's an interesting conversation, and that's what this session would try to make it. And sorry, just go click this. Yeah. Okay, sorry. So fundamental, unique things in our life, the battle with time. I think it has been a forever, since humanity, I think we've always been struggling to do so much more in such little time that we have in a day. And I think every single tool ever created has been in the service of managing time. How can you do it better? How can you do it faster? How can you be more efficient? And better, faster, efficient, all these are things that fundamentally always has been, whatever has been done. But just look at us. No matter what comes our way, we somehow find ourselves to make even busier. We keep consuming even more. So whatever they invent, whatever we do, I don't think we say, okay, this is great. I have someone doing my laundry. I don't have to worry about it. But we add 2 more things to our list and 4 more things to our list, and we just get busier and busier and busier. So, the question still remains: how in all of this, what does this do? And what can this amazing thing of artificial intelligence, what can it, how does it come to help? Because it is a new tool, it is being shaped as we speak on a daily basis. I think the progress is made is gazillion, every day something new will happen, and of course we keep hearing about the concerns, but let's keep that aside for right now, and I think we'll talk about the possibilities and not limitations. And I think that's what I, for example, work with. What is the possibility of it and not the limitations of it? Because if I focus on the possibilities, great things can happen. So this is what we define as to enable the most audacious creative ideas by scaling of time. I think that is where we put this entire AI into play. For us at Ogilvy, at WPP, this is what we feel. Like, can it enable the most audacious things to be done by scaling the problem of time, which has always been the problem and always will be the problem going ahead in time. As time is not going to go, longer, or it's not just going to happen. So, I'm going to talk about a few examples that we have done. Some of you may have seen, and if you have not, then I'll show you now. If I were to ask the world's biggest superstar to endorse millions small shop names, just think of it. All brands have brand ambassadors, and our idea for Cadbury was, because we sit on generosity, and we said that if we are a generous, our ethos is generous, we're going to have a brand ambassador that's not going to be our brand ambassador, but the brand ambassador of every single small store out there. When you start on that idea, if I had to do this manually in a physical format, just imagine the amount of money would cost on the number of days that a superstar will charge, and the money and the time that will go into shooting every single video all over again, saying buy from this store or buy from that store and buy from this town or buy from that. Just imagine. I mean, one day costs a lot. Just imagine what would the cost of 60 days, because that one campaign created 4.5 lakh campaigns. So you got to keep the number, and the end number was one campaign that ended up becoming a 4.5 lakh campaigns. So if I had to do 4.5 lakh campaigns, just imagine, it won't be possible. The magic of AI to rescue. Shah Rukh Khan, my ad, the campaign was called. And this is the man, the company, Rephrase.ai, just been bought by Adobe. He sent me a text recently. So this is what he says.
Scaling up time is the essence of everything that technology enables. Now, this concept applies in a bunch of different mediums. Let's start with today's world. One of our most famous pieces of work is the Shah Rukh Khan's Not Just a Cadbury ad campaign. In 1 month of that campaign being live, we were able to create more minutes of video of Shah Rukh Khan than his entire film career put together over 40 years.
Wow.
Across all films and all TV appearances combined. Now that's the power of AI technology. You can scale up time to an extent that was just like impossible before.
Did Shah Rukh Khan get scared because of this?
He signed up for this. I mean, like, yeah, this is the only thing that like he did as a part of the campaign. So,
very interesting question he asked at the end, and I must tell you, sometimes when you have amazing ideas, I saw how he reacted when we told him about it, and he is amazing because he said, "Oh, fantastic! How are you going to do it? Explain that to me." And of course, he had, like any human being, when you endorse a brand, he had his questions. Once they were answered, he was game. He was willing to sit in front of a green screen and shoot for half a day, reading out a script that was prepared using technology of all the words, because we live in a country called India, and unlike the West, our shops are not called hardware stores and dry cleaner stores. They're named after my parents, the locality, the community, the region. It's amazing. Our names are so interesting. So we had to ensure that when he took the name, it had to sound authentic. For that, the learning and the script that was generated, which he had to read for 45-50 minutes literally, because the lip sync had to be matched. And I remember the first ad that was created took about 30 some odd minutes. By the time we had hit about 2.5 lakh, I think the time had rendered down to literally 5 minutes. And then by the end of the campaign, we were generating an ad in every minute. And such was the pull of the campaign that I live in Juhu in Bombay. And I have my guy who I go to for my phones, and he was so upset. He's such a big Shah Rukh fan. He said, "When are you releasing my store? I want to put my ad." Okay. I have a cousin who does Indian ethnic clothes. She lives in Pune, and she was hounding me to say, "When are you releasing?" Because we had to release it in buckets, because we couldn't release everything in one go, because if we had done it, it would have crashed. So again, we had a thought. We had a great partner in Ashay, and of course, and collectively. In agency side, we're working with, in the good old days, we used to work with filmmakers, photographers. Now we have a new component on our table called tech partners, right? And the one thing I find exciting about working with them is, for them, this is something they do in their sleep. So when we were doing the cataloging with Delta X, I think they're a very large company, and for them to do creative ideas was very exciting for them, because it kind of gives them a break in their daily rhythm that they do. So they were also part of some creation that they were very excited about. So that was the team at Rephrase, very excited about working on an idea. So obviously they have the technology, something that they're building, and then they were part of it. So I'll just show the idea.
Big brands have big money to hire famous people, but not the small guys. And they are the ones who are still hurting. Presenting Shah Rukh Khan, My Ad.
He almost certainly has more devoted fans than any other movie star in the world.
Biggest movie star in the world.
Forbes have called him one of the biggest movie stars in the world.
We helped small businesses by making Shah Rukh Khan, the world's biggest movie star, their brand ambassador.
इस दिवाली आप भी ना अपने पास वाले फैशन नोवा एम्पोरियम से ही कपड़ों की शॉपिंग करना। सिद्धि विनायक इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स से लेटेस्ट स्मार्टफोन खरीदकर धमाकेदार सेल्फी पोस्ट करना।
क्या कर रहे हो? मीठा लाए?
We used machine learning to recreate Shah Rukh Khan's face and voice to take the local store names in the ads.
आप भी ना अपने पास वाली चॉइस ऑफ फैशन से ही कपड़ों की शॉपिंग करना। रॉयल फैशन से ही, एनके क्लॉथ्स से ही, पास वाली लक्ष्मी कलेक्शन से ही कपड़ों की शॉपिंग करना।
Different versions of the same ad with local store names were targeted as per the pin code of the viewer, showing them only the nearby stores. But it is impossible to cover all the stores. So we gave the power to the people to create their own version of Shah Rukh Khan, My Ad. Any small business owner could promote their stores through their own social media networks like WhatsApp forwards and other social media pages.
It is Shah Rukh Khan selling your store, man. So if you're a small-time retailer or a merchant, what an amazing thing to have.
Cadbury ad is an ad campaign that has gone viral.
A new ad which stars Bollywood superstar Shah Rukh Khan is winning hearts all over social media.
And what you're learning is that over 1 lakh local stores have already created their own ad with Shah Rukh as a brand ambassador.
दुकानों के नाम पूरी सेलिब्रेशंस के दिवाली एड में शामिल हैं।
सपने में भी नहीं सोचा था कि शाहरुख खान मेरे दुकान का ऐड करेगा।
Shah Rukh Khan, My Ad.
And the latest is, as of last night, this piece of work went on to win a global Grand Prix in Grand FEs, that most of us know FEs in India, and it not just won. This piece of work has won Grand Prix in India. It went on to win APAC FEs Grand Prix, and last night it won a global Grand Prix. So that's what the power of a brave idea that has tremendous business results and has tremendous impact, all thanks to AI. Because if you didn't have AI, like I said, you couldn't have executed this, you couldn't have even imagined it, you couldn't have even. It's physically not possible to do this kind of idea in an old school thought, because it required a set standing for 100 days. If you had to make, I mean, a number here is 1.5 lakh, it went on to some 3 lakh something. Imagine if I had to shoot 3 lakh films, just think of the expense. No one can afford it, no one can do it. So, of course, a lot of questions, a lot of answers, a lot of conversations. But the point, what I learned from all this is that I'm standing here as a face of this, but there are amazing people on this team that have made this happen. It's a very large effort of great minds. And that's what I've also learned in this new journey is you work with great partners, you work with great collaboration, and you have a lot of arguments, you have a lot of fights, but the output that comes out collectively is remarkably amazing. And I'm going to show you the next one, which is the recent one from the House of Mondelez again, which is again 8 billion people in this world. This is one birthday song. Amazing, isn't it, to think of it? So we are very big in gifting category, and obviously as a business we wanted to expand. We have Diwali gifting, we have Raksha Bandhan gifting, we have all kinds of festival gifting, and then we said there is a year-long gifting called birthdays. So what do we do with it? I mean, of course we want to get on to it, but this is what we pointed at. Eventually came down to this: 8 billion people in the world and one happy birthday song. Same lyrics, same tune, very, very impersonal. I mean, if I sing in my voice, that's the only personalization I can do versus your voice. But that's no personalization, right? So this is fundamental human fact, right? This is a collective insight mapping strat that we're sitting on right now. Now, this is what we said. What if everyone can gift a personalized birthday song? And so we started from here because we know the problem. We know what the opportunity is, but this is the solution. So we combined all of these amazing guys again on the table. All of them, they all probably, I guess, all valued at some gazillions and millions right now, which is great for them. But this is what we all came together. And we did all of this to create a generative tool that creates different genres of birthday song within a minute. Now imagine I have made a friend in college. I have my wife, of course. I have a different relationship. So every relationship has a different reason to wish someone happy birthday, right? And what if I could all of that? That was our learning. And
8 billion people, but only one happy birthday song with the same lyrics and the same tune for everyone. Cadbury Celebrations presents My Birthday Song, a personalized birthday song for everyone. We now help you gift more than just chocolate for every birthday. We used 4 generative AI tools to generate a happy birthday song. AI-generated lyrics, AI-composed music, AI-generated vocals, real-time generation of personalized songs. Scan the QR code on the pack or log on to www.cadburymybirthdaysong.com and fill in the details. Tell us why the person is special. Generate personalized lyrics. Choose a genre.
Happy birthday.
Choose a singer. And gift a special, personalized happy birthday song. Made just for your loved ones.
हैप्पी बर्थडे टिंकू जी, हैप्पी बर्थडे टिंकू जी, ऑफिस के सितारे सबके दुलारे हमारे टिंकू जी, हैप्पी बर्थडे टिंकू जी, हैप्पी बर्थडे टिंकू जी.
Happy birthday, Monty, dear. May joy and laughter always be near. You light up our office with love and care.
Tonight, happy birthday, let's raise a toast.
We got Bollywood icon Karan Johar to make a song for Kajol.
It's on you guys.
Happy birthday, Kajal, like a shooting star. You light up the sky no matter where you are.
And the campaign generated noteworthy PR. We got people dancing to their own tunes, one birthday song at a time.
टिंकू भाई आज पार्टी है, आज तेरी बर्थडे पार्टी है. टिंकू भाई आज पार्टी है, टिंकू भाई की ये पार्टी है, आज तेरी बर्थडे पार्टी है, टिंकू जी की पार्टी है.
Cadbury Celebrations, My Birthday Song, a personalized birthday song for everyone.
so yesterday we cut a cake for 1 million. So it'll go on and you'll go on because we live in an amazing country where we have language, regional, we will go on to, this is a property that a brand wants to invest in, because like I said, every other property is season based. There's a birthday every day. So if we can really build it and scale it and show, we can do live singing on it. So it doesn't really have to be, while some of you may have seen, Coldplay was in a bar and someone asked him to wish someone birthday and he sang for her. So you could, the idea is so big that the AI allows you to write the lyrics, which is personalized for somebody, and it can be rendered using the voice on AI or by someone who's in person. So you can do anything and everything on it. So that this is a pretty big, brave investment that works for a business opportunity again. So a combination of opportunity, idea, execution is, I think, if you get it all right, then I've seen people, literally hard people who were like my finance, okay, doesn't smile much, always have questions, why. I think when we gifted, I think she had a smile because someone who gifted had a reason of some moment that when they first met, when they joined the organization, and that was in the song. So even a hard person can smile. I think that's the beauty of it, because when you can bring out, and that's only possible because I can put that information and then there is a lyrics generator that can write a lyrics based on that, right? So it's a combination of two that gives you the set of lyrics to sing, and then of course then there's a voice and everything put together. So when you hear something which is a movement between A and B, and that's when it's rendered as a gift to you, it just becomes magical. So again, when people who got this gifted, they really, and they know that this has been created using artificial intelligence, they know that. But this is when you create magic for AI, this is how you create use for AI, which is, remembered, and then that's how, empathy or the scale gets built up on that. So these are the two examples that we worked on, and there's one personal example that I'll share this evening, which is comes from New York, from this agency, which is a great agency called VML. And Serena Williams, probably the best ever so far, and maybe the best ever to be. We don't know, but so far best ever for me, because I haven't seen a sports person in my time that has probably just proven everything wrong. You can be a mother, you can be a champion, and to play at that level. So what did they do with it? Well, the interesting part is, can she help train future Serenas? That's the question Nike asked. And this is what they ended up doing, which is amazing. They decoded her evolution as her body changed, as the time changed, as we all age. We all know sports people tell us as you get older, you have to try harder because you can't just keep up. And we've seen it happen in sports, but she proved everything wrong. So what they want to understand was, what did she do when she was 30? What did she do when she was in 20s? What did she do? So they basically decoded her evolution by using the data collected from her entire professional career that has been recorded on camera. Every single match that she played has been recorded, and they took all of that and they analyzed based on that, and this is what they created.
Serena Williams here.
I'm just so grateful because, yeah, you got me here. On August 9th, 2022, Serena Williams announced her retirement. 2 days later, Nike released a year-long study, a showcase of what it takes to stay on top for over 2 decades. From fear, insecurity, nervousness, to power, experience, mental toughness. This is Never Done Evolving, featuring Serena Williams, an AI study in the form of avatars that reveals the evolution needed to become the greatest of all time. We analyzed all data and footage from official tournaments throughout Serena's career. Machine learning was able to model each era's playing style, decision-making, shot selection, reactivity, recovery, and agility, creating the most accurate virtualization ever done with an athlete. Serena's avatar's data is being used to improve techniques for young athletes and product technology. It's a first-of-its-kind approach in the sports industry. To make it accessible and inspiring to everyone in the world, we turned the study into a live virtual match starring 17-year-old Serena, the age she won her first Grand Slam, against 35-year-old Serena, the age she won her 23rd Grand Slam. The game was the result of more than 130,000 games generated using the bid-to-player technique, developed by Stanford University. At every point won, Josh Appel showcases the study's main insights.
Well, you can just see the power on these serves from 2017 Serena Williams.
We're all extremely passionate about sport. When we look at the data we capture, there's beauty in that. The lines and curves, it's like a symphony.
The game broke all Nike's organic views records on YouTube and spread across mass media courts.
I mean, this level of excellence is kept over so many decades.
I feel it's more of like an evolution of Serena.
That's it. Thank you very much for having me here. I hope I managed to show, and you guys have been talking about it, but just want to say that as a creator, I was not born in this time. I wish I was. I would have probably done a lot more, but as an organization, we take pride in whatever comes our way. We must use it to make the most memorable piece of work for anybody that works with us. That's our fundamental, one line and that's what we try to do. Nothing we are afraid of. And there's nothing called. We always look at the possibilities and not the liabilities. You always have to look at the positive of anything, and if you look at the positive, then you will create magic, because when it gets to the end consumer, that's what the consumer wants. They want to know what you're going to do in my life. If you answer that, then it's not just a mining and serving the right information. That's okay. That's just base level. But got to go beyond. You got to push beyond, and that's what we try to do. And hopefully, sometimes we succeed. And there could be failures also. It's part and parcel of the game, because it's just a subjective field. But we try not to. But yeah, thank you. Any questions? Okay then, happy creating. Thank you. Oh, sorry, there's a question. Sorry? Oh, I'm. Thank you so much for that. I think there's one question. Somebody has one question.
Hi Sukesh.
Hi.
So, in order to create something like these two campaigns, which you did for Cadbury, from Cadbury's side, what was the brief to you, or was it that? Who was what was the genesis of this entire idea creation?
Oh, so interesting question. No one briefs me saying let's do technology work. No, nobody does that. That's a wrong approach. I think there's money on the table, so the brief is very genuine. Like I said, there's a new opportunity which is year long versus a seasonal opportunity that we already currently own. We are a gifting box. What can we do, and how do we take this campaign ahead? So when we are working, so we are partners. Ogilvy, we are not client agency. We don't work like that. Okay, we are partners. We discuss every problem. Your problem, my problem is your problem. So if I have a problem, you solve it. You have a problem, I'll solve it. That's how we work. So when we sit together, and this is the opportunity when we said, okay, there's just one song for everyone. How can we, answer that? So similarly on the Diwali, the brief was we stand for generosity. We have a line, "Kuch acha ho jaye, kuch meetha ho jaye," which has been forever. And it's not, and when obviously, unfortunately, COVID happened, it happened to all of us, and big brands obviously have bigger pockets to get out of it. And then we said that should we just help ourselves, or should we help the others? And as a brand DNA, if we stand for "Kuch acha ho jaye, kuch meetha ho jaye," then obviously, but naturally, we should be helping the others. And the best statement I remember of the campaign, one of the things that I got on the floor when we went for the market visit was, how our shops in our markets are all connected to each other. They know each other. They have chai together. They smoke together. Whatever they do, like how we do in office, they all hang out together because that's the hanging space. So one guy very proudly said, a Cadbury seller said, "Mera bagalla dukaan mere ad mein hai." Now that's what community is about. That's what our country is about. So understanding people, and then the opportunity is like any other opportunity. The conversation is like, nobody comes and says, let's do tech ideas. No, I don't. That doesn't work. I think the problem has to be genuine. The opportunity that we collectively come with has to be something that this is a great idea, but what it requires is something like how do I scale it up, and it has to play an integral role in it. So the answer is later. The question is first. We don't operate the other way. Yes. Wow. You started a question session. Amazing.
Good stuff, Sukesh. A quick question for you. As a creator for content, what do you think you are with an advantage in India because of this diversity of the countries, and because they say India has many countries rolled into one? Do you think there's an advantage India has got for you as a creator compared to monotonous markets?
Okay, I'll answer in the two answers to this. The first one, our skill sets in this world of technology has made us as a creator at par with world-class work. Okay, earlier, you could never have, if you look at our films, for example, right? Look at the output of let's say a Hollywood movie versus today we are there, but there was always, is the CG 100% there? Like, let's say, look at the Hollywood film, look at the way, Spielberg did that. It's not the same. It was a question of money. It always boiled down to 100 million versus 20 million. There's always but our skill sets in this industry today, actually has enabled us to do work quality which is world class. There is no difference anymore in the quality of the output. So what we were, for example, let's say monetary wise, lagging, if I would use the word, because if you give me 100 millions, I can also, hopefully I will be able to create something magical, but we don't have that. So I think the first answer is this, our expertise, like, Ashray and many more people that we have worked with, their companies and their knowledge bank and their technique and their skill sets are so out there. They're pretty world class in every way. So our output is world class. That's one. Second, the diversity of our country actually makes, if you saw the happy birthday or if you saw the shop, our diversity was the need for it to be personalized to that level. I think personalization can happen at one level, which is just name. But personal can happen because of location, language, regionality. So our opportunities are much more. So again, the chances of, and we don't like to repeat any of the idea with any, because that's not, so I don't think personalization is the way on here. AI can do, like Serena is a way, I probably got that piece just to show that it's not personalization, but you can actually, Nike, it works for Nike to, make a case example of making Serena the coach. But how do you help them become the coach to youngsters? That's a great question on the table. And I think over there it helped very differently. So there are a lot of opportunities that being in India actually gives us, which is due to just the gaps are much wider. The diversity is tremendous. So it actually enables and helps us to, do more and think braver to answer to these things. Because as a campaign creator, we already know that nowadays, or for the last decade or so, we have a campaign for North, for South, for East. So regionality is already seeped into the work that we are creating because people resonate better. So that already happened a decade back, right? So there's no more call up pan-India campaign. Very rarely there's unlikely ever, I would say. So those things actually started a decade back, but this again is actually enabling us to answer those questions better. The new field. I hope I answered your question.
Thanks. Here's more Grand Prix.
Oh yes, thank you. Okay, super.
What a session, right? Can I request you to just be on stage with us, Mr. Nayak? Thank you so much, and what a session, right? Can we have a huge round of applause for him? And may I request Mr. Mohit Gupta to come on stage and hand over the memento to him.